I think conscious parenting is when you're really trying to do it for the betterment or for the well being of the child. And, whether that's divorce, whether that's separation, it's trying to remember that because a lot can happen, especially like these high conflict situations. We can get really triggered and we can go like, oh, well, but, the partner did this, my ex did this, and so I need to take revenge on that. We tend to think at that time just in terms of logistics. We think, okay, whether they're provided for, they have a home, whether their routine is done, they're going to school and all of that. But think about it from your kids' perspectives. Like their world's changed. They're literally living probably in separate places. They are coping up with not having their parents present all the time. I hate this good girl, good person, good man thing that we have in our world because we all feel like, okay, being good is not shaking the boat. Being good is like just settling in, compromising so that the other person feels good about it. The other person's okay. That's their sense of identity. Don't take that away from your child. Yeah, you get to understand your story. Like, why are these things happening in your life? That why gets answered. And then you can do more things with it.
Welcome to the Just Separated podcast. Hi, I'm Karen Oman, a thanatologist, grief counselor, divorce strategist, and co-author of the Just Separated workbook. I draw on years of personal and professional experience to guide you through the challenges of your divorce. Together, with our expert guests, we'll equip you with the clarity, resilience, and tools to take charge and move forward with confidence. Follow Just Separated and join us as we explore the many different facets of divorce. Yeah, I was just thinking there, like, if they could understand what is triggering them, like, why are you so reactive in this situation? And then kind of feel it in your body. Like, is it your heart racing? Are you getting angry? Are your fist tightening? Are you like, what is that? Did you get a legal letter that made you mad? Did your ex pile on stuff or work, whatever, or your kids behaving not so great to you? Like, what is it? But what is it is triggering you to want to react out? And
Yeah.
what you're saying is, okay, just settle for a minute. Do a tool, one of your tools, go for a walk, talk to a friend, not in front of your kid if you're venting, but whatever. Everyone has different type of resources they go to when they're not, when they're, and do that. And then it's funny because after you're done that, or you slept on it or whatever, you're going to lower your reaction and it's going to be more of a response rather than a reaction. And
Yeah, and I'm loving your point there as well, which is really just around calming and feeling that in your body because everything that comes to us, um, it always comes because there is something in us where that gets attached. If you feel that you are being controlled by someone, you're being talked to a certain way, whatever your pattern is, whatever you feel like is not right that's going on for you, it is not your fault, but there is something inside you where that is getting attached to. So just feeling where it is in the body, like if you read the legal letter, where do you feel? Like where does it hit in your body? Does your tummy feel very hard? Like, or is your heart suddenly like, oh my God, my heart just dropped? And we often use those phrases as well. And then just put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your gut, and just breathe. Just allow the earth and the sun to give you a lot of love and light there. And just take a few deep breaths and tell yourself that I'm releasing the darkness, I'm releasing the control, whatever you're feeling, or whatever you feel is really limiting you, then these are very good affirmations to say that I'm releasing the darkness, I'm allowing light to come in. I'm releasing darkness, I release all my darkness, and I allow only light to come in. And just feel the shift. The first shift that happens is you emotionally, you feel a lot better. But what you've done energetically is that you break off those cords from where that thing was coming to you. Over time, what you will realize is that even if first, because there's always a test first, so you'll see similar situations happen again, but you'll just know that, oh, it does not affect me anymore. Like, my heart doesn't stop beating when I see similar thing. It's okay. I'm fine. And then because you've cleared your space, the outside, it just stops. All that was triggering you, it just stops. You go more and more into a flow, because that's all that your soul was asking you to do, was just clear your own pattern, your own limits, your own cords inside.
Would you say that's a practice that they could do?
Absolutely. This is what I teach all the time as well. So I have an awakened parenting circle where I take parents through this. And one of the great exercises to do is this one, is just clearing the places in your body, whatever triggers you, whenever, if you feel something's triggering you, and observe the patterns in your life. Where do you feel stuck? That's a good idea. Watch your words, especially when you're talking to a dear friend and you're recounting the incident, because your words will often point out as well. Your body will tell you a lot of times if you're waking up with a shoulder ache, or you have bloating issues, whatever, like wherever you're feeling it in the body, that's where you are having some stuck emotions. You're just blocking the energy flow. So you just need to allow that. So just put your hands there, just connect with the earth, connect with the sun, and just say, I'm releasing darkness. I release all the darkness, and I'm allowing light. Everything else should go.
Now, in your experience and practice, have you seen people transform from being maybe angry or bitter into letting everything go, and they feel lighter and better?
Oh, totally. So there's, yes, this work is just so, so, so transformative. And sometimes it can be actually really very quick as well. It does not have to be very long. And you don't always need to even involve your ex. So I'll give you an example. There was a dad who came to me, and what had happened was that his daughter had fallen down while she was with him. Now, his daughter is 6 years old, so he did not expect her to fall down, but she fell down, she hit her head, and she had a concussion. It was okay. They got it checked. It was okay. But the mom thought it was a good time to um, just bring out a legal letter and go, well, because you faltered, so now I'm going to take full custody. And so basically, he had to really explain himself as to why he could still look after his daughter and have her and so on. And they had no issues. They were doing it like 50-50, and he was looking after her. There was nothing else. And so that's when he came to me, which is very good that he came in time and before all that escalated. And we just worked with the energy. So I looked at his energy and his daughter's energy, cleared those energies. Just so when you clear energy, and a lot of people don't realize, like when you clear energy, it's literally like whatever is the noise in between or the friction in between, that all goes away. Like sometimes, when you talk to your ex and you feel like, oh my God, they're just so unreasonable. Imagine all that unreasonable unreasonability or unreasonableness. Imagine that's all just taken out. And imagine this person just becomes totally rational, and whatever you're saying, they can just understand the viewpoint, and maybe they still have different ideas, but you can talk about it and you can come to a decision. That is what energy clearing does, and that's how powerful it is. So first I cleared out the energy between him and his daughter, because I wanted them to have a really good space and not to have something like this happen as well. Because if his daughter has had a concussion, like there's just something weird that's going on in that energy space in general. So we cleared that out, allowed both of them to have a really good and fun time together and spend their time riding bikes and all the stuff that they like to do. And then I had the mum spirit just watch that. So we didn't not do anything with her in person. There was no phone call, there was no conversation with her. We just had mum spirit just watch that. Because what that is allowing to do is that's allowing her spirit to see, oh, this is required. So what happens is when we are really charged, we can be disconnected and we can have a lot of the lower vibrational energies of ego, of control, of defense, of attack. They can all be a lot more prevalent in our space. But when you clear the energy, then those things go away and you're allowing a lot more light, as in more love, more neutrality, more understanding, more awareness to come in. And so we just had her watch the whole thing. And then I did a final space clearing where I brought all three of them together because there's still a co parenting unit and a family for the daughter, and cleared the energy there. And that was it. That was a 1 hour session. And we finished the session. And then after that, next day, he was dropping his daughter. So had a chat with mom afterwards. And she's like, well, I think maybe I stepped too far and maybe we don't need to do this yet. So it was just so radical, so quick, that that's all you need to do. Like my clients will notice shifts a lot of times very quickly like this, because once you clear energy, it is like taking all the disturbance and all the negative charge out of it. Like all the heightened impulses, they all get drained off, and you can just have a very rational conversation, which is the amazing thing.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that it would be so much better for your health, so much better for your children, so much better for the co-parenting relationship when you can release all that pent up anger or frustration. That's a wonderful example of what you do and why your work's important, because it can really shift a relationship. Which, as you said, like a co-parenting relationship, it's for a long time.
Yeah, like it or not, like it is for a long time. And your kids want you to have a really good relationship. They want to see you get along. Like they'll be doing major life things. They're growing up as you are fighting or not liking each other. But they're growing up. This is their memory. This is all the time that they remember. This is how they remember Mother's Day, Father's Day, their holidays, their school breaks, anywhere they went for vacation, and so on. So you want to give them a nice, safer space, but also it's just so much easier on you. Like imagine days when you're not fighting with your ex. Imagine if you could just pick up a call or text and you can just have normal discussions around their schools or whatever choices you need to make. And you can do that as parents and then just go about in your day as normal. Like how easy would life be, and how much stress free would life be? And it's
Yeah,
possible.
it's possible with the work you do. I was just thinking before we wrap up is, and this is a deeper question, but do we do we pick our partners? Do we pick
We
our,
pick.
like, do you, so we pick those challenges, right? So I often reflect back going, in my own marriage and divorce, I go, why did I even pick this person? And I'm
Yes,
sure there's listeners listening going, yeah, Karen, that's exactly why did I, so
I've done that. Yes. We pick every major thing in our life, every major thing. But it's not that it's supposed to happen that way. Like, it's not that, oh, the relationship was meant to um, be this messy or abusive or however. It's not that, but your soul was teaching you something. So, if I go back to our birth, we come to earth because there's something as a soul where we need to evolve. So we pick up our lessons. We pick up our lessons, and that's not like a one lesson, two lesson, three lesson. Purpose is also multifold. So that could be, well, this is what I want to do in terms of education, or I'm very creative, or I want to go and see the world. It could be around people that I want to learn about love. And sometimes love will also be, well, I want to feel how it is being hurt, and how do I have my boundaries in a very loving relationship or in a controlling relationship? How do I have those boundaries? So we pick those things up. And I know this for myself, and then for a lot of clients that I've worked with as well, that the patterns that we have in our life, they start like small, like maybe they're 1 centimeters in the beginning, then they become like 10 centimeters, then they become like 100 centimeters. I'll give you an example. Let's say the pattern around, well, I am not lovable. Okay, you saw an example of that with your parents as you were growing up, and there's that seed that comes up there, then you need to heal that. But then there's your first partner that comes in, and there's something in there where you're feeling unlovable or so on, however that's played with you, right? Unless you've healed it, it sort of becomes bigger, 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 bigger. If I look at my relationships, and I can blame all of them. There's only one common person between them, though, which is this person sitting in front of you.
That's so true.
So we do pick our lessons, we pick our kids, we because there's something that we want to learn from them. We pick our partners, we pick our parents as well because there's something that they needed to teach us. The things that they gave to us, the things that they did not give to us. With exes, a lot of time it's around boundaries. With exes, it's a lot of time around where did you overgive, where did you not give, what do you have to learn in terms of growing up. So your soul's not thinking. So the human world can be very different, or the physical world that we live in. It tends to value like, okay, have you had a stable relationship, and how long is your relationship? Are you That's sort of the metric for success, right? How many years have you been together, and what is the material success that you've built? Those can be the physical metrics. Soul is not thinking like that. Like, it's got very different expectations of you. What it is doing is, well, okay, so now you're very good at loving, and I can see that you have a really, really big heart, but you need to learn about boundaries. So why don't I give you an abusive person here so that you can really understand that? And you're like, why? So you might have actually crossed one lesson there, that you have a very big heart, and you're like, well, I did not get a prize for this because your soul's just trying to take it to the next level. And it's going, okay, so now let's teach you about boundaries. Okay, all right, this boundary, here you did not push back, right? Like, they said that this is the clothes you should wear, or this is how you should speak, this is how you should not speak, and you sort of did that. Maybe they overworked you and you took that as well. The soul will then continue giving you more and more of that till you really understand that now I need to put my boundaries and I don't like this anymore. So it actually gets worse and worse if we ignore the signs.
No, I totally agree. When you're saying that, I'm looking at my own marriage and going, yeah, yes, for sure. It kept getting more and more and more. And it was almost to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like I was pushed so bad that there
Yeah.
was only one choice to go, right?
Which is, I hate this good girl, good person, good man thing that we have in our world. Because we all feel like, okay, being good is not shaking the boat. Being good is like just settling in, compromising so that the other person feels good about it. The other person's okay. It's really deprioritizing us. And I actually tend to think of this as more like the shit meter. you know, it's really like they're feeling good, but okay, this is my shit level. Like, I'm now taking this much of shit. And now they did something else, and I'm taking even more shit, but I'm fine with it. So I'm raising my shit meter. In a sense, like the gooder you are, you're just taking more and more shit from the world, and you're supposed to feel good with it, but you won't because you're just bringing more and more shit in your space. So
Hmm.
prioritize yourself and set up your own boundaries. I do
Yeah.
have a very good freebie, I think. It is soul contracts in parenting, because with our kids we always have soul contracts. There's a reason why they are born to us. There's a reason uh, around why they're triggering us. What is it that they are teaching us? What is it that we are supposed to teach them? And this is what the freebie offers. It can be had online at artoflifecenter.com/parent. That's just free for everyone.
Oh, I think that'd be really interesting too, right? And
Yes.
informative because they definitely do teach us a lot. Um, in all different ways, from good and challenging ways. So before we wrap up, is there anything else you have to say? I mean, we had a good discussion, but is anything left that you'd like to add before I ask you the last question?
Maybe I could just expand on that. Like, I look at my story with my son and I look at it before this, and I used to think, why is he like this? And there were lots of times, especially as co parenting, um, and a lot of parents will relate with this. He used to come back from his dad, and I would feel like, okay, I have separated from dad and I've just got a younger dad. now to deal with. Like I would just see him mimicking the same thing. And it was very, very triggering till I figured out my soul contracts with him. And they were twofold. One was around anger. And it was more that, well, why was I getting that? So this was the lesson of boundary that I had to learn with him, but boundaries balanced with compassion. The second thing, he'd also chosen me for my light, as in, what would I teach him? Which was just like, really? Like, you tend to bring out, especially probably when he was very young, it used to feel like, well, it does not seem as if you and I are in agreement. What's really going on there? But it was very surprising to understand that's exactly why he'd chosen me. To understand that, then just changed the whole dynamic with which I parented, because I could understand more about him as a soul. One of the things I understood where he didn't want to seemingly do a lot of the stuff was that in his past lives, my son had been like one of those child labor um, kids. Like he had to grow up very, very quickly around the age of 4 or 5. So he really did not want to become responsible. He really wanted to play. But when I could talk to his spirit again and I could tell him that, well, that's okay. We're just going to have fun again. Like, it does not mean I'm not going to make you work. I'm not going to make you earn at 4 or 5 for me. You can leave that. But, we'll just have fun. How about if you do this, we can just go and have a lot more fun holidays because we can explore more things. So that way, just change the whole energy in terms of how we talked, how we correlated, and really the dynamic between him and me just shifted from that place of control and trying to just get across. That was very hard initially, and I think I was really coming off my parenting, coming off my separation, and mimicking all of that into the relationship with him, then still working through it. But once I did, it just really shifted to the place of compassion, understanding. Like, we don't have arguments. We'll talk about everything, but it's a very loving, it's very open relationship that we have now, and it would be hard to imagine earlier.
And that's all because of what the work you do, right?
Yeah.
So it's important that if everyone's interested to go to your webpage and find out where that freebie is, because I think it would be enlightening for everybody and
Mhm.
helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to understand your story. Like, why are these things happening in your life? That why gets answered. And then you can do more things with it. Like, even during, it's a 3-part free audio series. So, in that, I also share techniques on how to really realign, reprogram your soul contracts, how to reprogram your karmic patterns in between as well, so that you're operating from a place that's more reset, that is more empowered, that's more loving.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So I ask everybody who's on the podcast this last question. So for someone who's just separated, whether they were left or were left, whether they, sorry, take over that one. For someone who is just separated, whether they left or were left, what advice would you give them to help them navigate those overwhelming early days?
I love the question, Karen. I love it. And often those times it can just feel that we are alone. A lot of times, all this journey, it just feels like, oh my God, it's all on me. Like the world's just falling apart and I don't know what to do. And I would just invite you to connect with the earth and with the sun and take that deep breath and breathe. So, wherever you feel that that's very heavy, and for a lot of people, that will really be around your belly button, as I tune into the group as well, around your heart. Just put your hands there on your heart, just around your belly button or a little bit lower, and just breathe. Imagine that Mother Earth is connecting with you and she's sending you lovely green emerald energy. It's flowing from the heart of Mother Earth and coming all the way up into you. And then there's golden light that's coming from the sun above and it's pouring into you as well. And just remember that the earth, the sun, they've seen you. well before you were born. They knew you were going to be born on earth and they wanted you here. They love you. Their love is always there for you. And just allow yourself to receive that love and have that love. Because when you bring that more, that's what you'll have outside as well. But whenever you feel alone, just say, I let go of the loneliness and I bring in love.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so important when you're just they're so overwhelming, those early days. So thank you for coming on. I know you have your 3-part audio series for the children. What else do you have? I know you do one-on-one coaching, you do mediation, meditations. You have so much to offer. You want to tell everybody?
Yeah. For parents, I have this moon meditation circle that I do, where we do full moon meditations and new moon meditations together. So there's that lovely meditation circle. I have an awakened parenting circle as well, where I do deeper workshops with parents. And then I have these one-on-one sessions or mentorships with parents. It just depends on whatever anyone wants to do. But here's the thing, if you want to understand anything about my offering, if there's any question, if there's any just idea that you want to get about your life, probably the easiest way is get onto my website, book a call with me. That is artoflifecenter.com. And you'll find the link on there as well, just for booking the call with me. There's easy options on the website to just send me a voice message to contact me there, and I'll get in touch with you, because that's the easiest way to then understand your situation, give you something that's a lot more pertinent to you. It is art of life center, center.com. Or you can find me on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram at Kanika Energy Coach. Kanika, Kanika Energy Coach.
And you work worldwide, correct?
Yes, I do want my work to reach as many people as it can, because I think it helps parents, it helps the kids, it helps our next generations. So I think I would love to help just as many people as I can. So I have a lot of free offerings and paid offerings as well, just for this, because I do want to reach out and help as many people as I can.
Well, it's wonderful work. You have such good energy, such important stuff, and I really hope it. As we're in Canada, North America here, I really hope the people here in this start reaching to you, because it makes a difference. It really can
It
make a
does.
difference.
It does. It's like a little ripple, right? And then it just creates waves. But it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference how you parent, how you bring up your kids, because that's what they remember.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Karen. It was such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining today's discussion with our divorce expert. Check out the show notes for more about our guest. If you're finding value in our podcast, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our YouTube channel at Divorce Workshop. Share your questions, comments, or guest suggestions. We'd love to hear from you. For a comprehensive divorce guide, check out our Just Separated workbook on Amazon worldwide. This workbook covers everything from emotions and co-parenting to finances, legal insights, and recovery, a must-have for anyone navigating separation or divorce.